San Jose Sharks prospect Alex Young joins the show today, where we discuss early hockey life, the weird 2020 draft, going from Colgate to ASU, and we get to know him off the ice a little bit. So all that and more on today's episode.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area. My name is Tank Commander JD Young, contributor at San Jose Hockey Now. And I want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. Proudly a part of the Locked On Network. We cover your team every day. And if you want to be an everydayer, all you got to do is just follow along wherever you get podcasts, or you can subscribe on YouTube as well. And today we have Sharks prospect Alex Young joins the show. We get to know Alex a little bit, and kind of as he actually finishes up here, after the Sharks do have to sign him by August 15th, or else they'll lose his rights. So we kind of, we actually talk about that. So plenty of good stuff here. So I know these Sharks do play tonight, and we're not going to talk about that game at all. But if you want to listen to tonight's broadcast, you can do that on the SiriusXM app. Catch every shot, every goal of the Sharks' hometown broadcast with SiriusXM on the SXM app. Search Sharks. And before we do get into it with Alex Young, do want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you guys by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. It's $150 if your team wins. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. And now we bring in San Jose Sharks prospect Alex Young. Alex, how's it going today, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Wanted to get you on, get to know you a little bit. I know your senior year is a big year for you, playing at Arizona State, but I kind of want to start at the beginning. When did you realize that hockey could actually be like a future for you?
I mean, like I always just had a dream of it growing up, and as a little kid, just growing up, my dad, and he was teaching me and my two brothers how to skate and how to play hockey, and that was kind of just something we loved from 5 years old and growing up. And then once I got into juniors when I was 16, 17 years old, then I really took it seriously and knew that this is something that I could hopefully have as a career for myself. And yeah, just once I got to that age, then really put my focus into it and started to focus myself on that and push myself to become a hockey player. That's what I wanted to do.
You're one of the rare Canadian kids who go to college. Did you have a WHL chance since you grew up in Calgary, or was it always going to be college for you?
There was some debate between me and my family and the people around me and other people who influenced me. I was drafted when I was 15 to the Everett Silvertips in the WHL, and attended their training camp when I was 15 years old. And then my older brother was playing in the AJHL at the time for the Canmore Eagles, and I got the chance to go follow him as a 16-year-old. And then at that point, kind of just realized that I was going to be, needed a little extra time to develop and wasn't going to become a professional player after 18, 19, 20 years old. And just kind of looked at my development path and saw that, college was going to be really good for me and give me some extra time to develop and become a real good player, and then hopefully break into the professional league at an older age.
Was it always Colgate, or did you kind of look at other places, or why was it Colgate?
There was interest from other schools, and took a couple different trips out to one or two different schools before visiting Colgate. And then just once I got down to Colgate, then my brother and I kind of had a similar path together. My brother Colton Young, he's now playing in Greenville in the East Coast League. But we visited Colgate University at the same time, and we kind of fell in love with the campus and how tight knit the community was, and brand new arena they built there as well. And the academic part of it mixed in with the high level of hockey is just something that you don't really get and don't really see in a whole lot of places. And when we kind of realized that and the coaching staff and how welcoming they were to us on our visit, then we knew that was going to be a really good fit for us.
How special is it to play with your brother? You mentioned Colton a couple of times now. Like, you played with him for the couple of seasons at Colgate. How special is that?
It's very special, and I was lucky enough to play with him for 2 years in junior, actually, 2 years, and then 3 years at Colgate, and it's just been great to be with him. When you're in a new place, a new city, new country, halfway across the continent, just to have that family member and someone who's been there a year before me and has the experience, and just to you're not feeling lost, and he's really there to help guide me is something that I was really fortunate to have, and I'm really happy to see him have success now in his professional leagues.
All right, let's talk about draft day, because you were an overager in the 2020 draft. Talk us through that. You have the pandemic's full rate, like everything's going on in the world. What was that day like for you? Hoping to hear your name called and then finally getting called in the 7th round.
It's actually it's a cool story, I think. So I was my freshman year at Colgate, and the hockey season hadn't started yet. The draft got pushed back to like September, I think it was, because of COVID. And I was doing hybrid school, so I had a class that was on Zoom. I was just in my dorm room, and then was watching the NHL draft at the same time, and saw the names going down the board, and was just hoping that eventually my name would pop up. And I was watching the 4th round, 5th round goes by, and then I had to go to the rink for practice, and then we were doing like a split practice where we couldn't have too many big groups on the ice at one time, but I was on the second group, so half my team had already practiced, and they were getting changed, and I was on the ice, and about 5 minutes into me being on the ice, everyone else comes out from the dressing room and they start cheering and clapping, and they just come out and tell me that I got drafted by the Sharks. So it was a pretty cool moment there, and to have my team come out and announce it to me was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, nobody got to kind of experience the full thing, with it all being over Zoom and everything. But yeah, I'm sure that was nice to have your own private cheerleaders there with your team. That's a pretty cool story. So, all right, guys, before we continue with Alex Young and we talk about kind of the transfer from Colgate to ASU and then what's next for him, need to take a quick break and talk to you guys about our good friends over at Sleeper. A new NHL season brings all sorts of possibilities. The Sharks might score 50 goals combined in the entire season. They could definitely win the draft lottery, and you could win big by playing daily fantasy hockey on Sleeper, the official daily fantasy app of the Locked On NHL Network. Sleeper is our number one choice for daily fantasy sports, and especially daily fantasy hockey, because with Sleeper, you can win 100 times your cash in daily fantasy hockey contests. All you got to do is either pick studs out there like McDavid, Ovechkin, or Crosby, or pick some of your favorite players like Slippery Pete, Tomas Hertl, you name it. Record more or less of their sleeper projections for things like goals, assists, saves, plus minus, and more in a given game. And to win 100 times bet, you just need to correctly predict the outcome of 8 player sets. You heard me, Sharks fans. You can win 100 times your money playing daily fantasy hockey with Sleeper. So start paying attention and nail your picks so you can start winning big. Use promo code LOCKEDONNHL and you'll get $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. That's LOCKEDONNHL. See Sleeper's terms of use for details and locational availability. Score early this NFL season with FanDuel, America's number one sportsbook, because right now new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. So if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get on the action. The app is super easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. Christian McCaffrey touchdown Thursday night as you're eating that pie, just feels good. Also, Tyreek Hill touchdown against the Jets. That Jets team is ready to collapse. I think the Dolphins put the nail in the coffin there. So maybe you think the Niners beat the Seahawks on Thursday. That's a nice money line. You win that. Use some of your free bets to go bet on Tyreek Hill to score a touchdown. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. Last season with Colgate, you averaged nearly a point per game. You're a Hobie Baker nominee. Your team makes the playoffs. How insane was that season for you?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, that run that we had at the end, it was amazing. And, everything kind of came together, and we put together some big wins against some pretty good teams. And just that whole year, I mean, I was doing real well personally myself, and just seemed to kind of find my offensive stride. And to cap it off with the ECAC championship was pretty special.
Yeah, we won't talk about the playoffs because that's fine. That Michigan team was insane, and they continue to be insane. I don't know how they keep getting away with it. So this offseason, you transferred to Arizona State. What was the big reason behind the decision?
I mean, there was lots of reasons, and it all kind of snowballed together. And one of the main things that pushed it was our head coach at Colgate, Don Vaughn. He announced his retirement, and so there was that. And then mixed with my older brother had graduated, and just kind of wasn't sure about what was going to happen for the future, and what was going to be best for trying to push myself to make the jump to professional hockey for the next season. And just kind of took a step and opened myself up to see what was going to be out there, and what spots I would fit into to continue to grow and play against the top players in the country, and try a new challenge. And then I found out that the assistant coach from Colgate, Dana Borges, was going to be hired by Arizona State. And then when I found that out, it kind of made the decision a lot easier, and pushed me towards staying with him. And he was a guy that had kind of recruited me and my brother to Colgate, and he's been someone that's just been a big part of my development. So I was very lucky to have him be joining me.
When you transfer, do you talk to the Sharks? Are you like, hey guys, I'm thinking about transferring, or is it just kind of a personal decision? And then you're like, oh yeah, I moved across the country. You're like, how does that work?
There was a ton of people involved. My family. I've definitely reached out to the Sharks and got their input. And my roommate's coming in here. This is
no worries.
My roommate Brian Chambers. Hey, what's going on?
How's it going?
The transfer from UMass Lowell as well, fifth year here. So, but just there's a ton of people that are on my side, and they're trying to have what's best for me and guide me, and not try to make any decisions for me, but kind of tell me what's out there, and ask me questions and see from get ideas from their perspective, and kind of push me into the direction that they think is going to be the best for me as a player.
Was there talk of going pro after your junior season, or were you always kind of like, no, I want to do one more year?
There was, I kind of reached out and got some information from the Sharks, and just they were happy with how I've been doing in college so far. And they told me that they're really looking forward to me, and want me to play one more year and finish out my college career, and then, hopefully make the jump next year and fit right in.
We know Mike Greer loves himself college guys the way he's been drafted recently. So I'm sure he was happy to see you continue your college career. So I got to ask the big question: are you still you'll be done? Are you still planning on signing with the Sharks? You're going to kind of see what happens after the season.
I think if the Sharks are to offer me, then I would definitely like to do that. I've been with them for 4 years now, and have really enjoyed their training camps, and just all the staff members and the people that run their front office, and just everyone that I've come in contact to has been tremendous. And yeah, if I get that opportunity, I would definitely love to join the Sharks organization.
If, as someone who shares the same last name, if you do sign and play with the Sharks, you'd be the first player with the last name Young to play for the Sharks, and I think that's a big win for all of us with the last name Young. So I can get my kids Young jerseys. It's great. You got, just, it's right there. At least do it for me, Alex. That's all. Us young kids.
I'll keep that in mind.
All right. Who was your favorite player growing up?
I got to go with Jerome McGinley
Okay.
in Calgary, and growing up and just watching him all the time, and the number growing up, I always wore the number 12 after him, and just being a Calgary hero that he is definitely my favorite player.
I know his son is tearing it up and is going to be a first round pick this year. But yeah, Jerome McGinley, as a Sharks fan, always scared me because he would just do insane things, and he was so amazing to watch growing up. So I loved watching McGinley. So who though do you model your game after? Who's the guy you're like, okay, that's who I want to try to kind of copy the most?
It's like a mix of a few different players. I try to, play a little bit. Growing up, I thought I was like Patrick Kane, but not everyone can be like him. But now I feel like I'm a bit more of like a mix between like Cam Atkinson, Brendan Gallagher. Like, I have some skill, but then can also go and get to the dirty areas and drive to the net and just kind of make those tough plays. And yeah.
All right, before we finish up with Alex Young, we get to know him a little bit off the ice, and kind of let the socks and skates question, right? We have to ask, right? At this point, you have to ask. So before we get into that, just need to take a quick break. Talk to you guys about our friends over at BetterHelp. You guys know mental health, especially this time of year, right? Depression, you're struggling. Maybe you just need someone to talk to help you get through things. Therapy can be a bright spot amid all the stress and change, something to look forward to make you feel grounded and give you the tools to manage everything going on. If you're thinking about starting therapy, you have to give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designated to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. So just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist. You can also switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Find bright spots this season with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/LockedOnNHL today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/LockedOnNHL. All right. As a young, you have a pretty common name, especially when it comes to hockey players, right? What is your hockey name? Is it Youngs? Is that what they call you, or what do you get?
Usually Younger is my nickname.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty simple.
Not for personal reasons. I'm asking that. So, all right. Socks and skates. Are you a monster who does not wear socks with their skates?
No.
Okay.
I have some like long socks, anti-cut socks and stuff. So yeah.
Okay, because there's a couple of them out there, and I don't know. They say it's really comfortable once you break it, like get used to it. But I don't know how that just seems gross to me anyway.
Yeah, there's on my team this year, our captain Tyler Gratton. He doesn't wear socks in his skates, and I think he's the only one on our team, and everyone is kind of confused by it. We're like, how do you do that? That feels so weird. So.
It's red flag when it comes to the draft stuff there. All right. What is your game day prep like? Are you superstitious, a little stitious, or you kind of a let it go guy?
Yeah, not really any big superstitions, but just I like to stick to my routine, usually eat pregame meal around the same time. If it's like a 7 o'clock start, which we have mostly, then I'll eat around like 2:30, 2:45. And then take a nap after that, and then kind of take a shower after that nap, and then go head to the rink, stretch, take my 6, do everything mostly in the same order, and then no big superstitions, but yeah, just keeping that same routine is something that I like to do.
Coffee before the game?
No, I don't drink coffee. I don't think I've had a full cup of coffee in my life. So
Mm.
everyone always tells me, they said, you're gonna need to drink coffee once you get to college. You're gonna need to drink coffee, finals weeks and stuff. But just haven't done it, and hopefully I don't have to. But never know. My roommate,
Uh,
he's trying to get me on it. He's got a coffee maker, and he's always trying to ask me if I want a cup. But
it's for me. It was when I had kids. It changes the game. You literally can't live without it. So, and then are you a like headphones guy, or do you like kind of listen to wherever the DJ has going on?
I'm usually whatever the DJ's got going, unless they're playing something pretty terrible. Um, but usually the guys come together and they have some good songs playing in the dressing room. I don't really like to have my own like kind of headphones when there's
Mhm.
lots of other guys around, just because it's good to like talk to guys and just if they have anything to say or you want to talk about the game and just to kind of put yourself in the environment instead of closing yourself off. But I know everybody's different, but that's just kind of my way. If I have headphones, then I kind of am not as engaged in my surroundings.
Makes sense. All right, get you out of here with this. When you're not playing or training, what's your favorite activity off the ice to do?
Um, there. I like to play some video games. I mean, I don't really have a gaming system with me. I have one when I'm back home and in the summer.
Mhm.
Um, I like to golf as well, and then a little bit of rollerblading.
Okay. Golfing, I mean, moving to Arizona and then potentially to San Jose, that's really going to help the golf game since
Yeah.
you can play year round. And I know the all the CUDA guys and stuff. Actually, I know the Sharks and the CUDA guys, they all love playing golf as well. It seems like that's the go-to hobby for a lot of hockey players is playing golf. So
Yeah, yeah, it's good. Great for in the summer when you have a lot of time.
Alex, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing you continue your collegiate career and hopefully seeing you playing in San Jose sooner rather than later, buddy. So we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you much for having me.
Thanks, buddy. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed my conversation with Alex Young. I do expect the Sharks to sign him this off season and for him to kind of start. It'll be interesting if they sign him right after the season, like what we saw with the Henry Thun, or if they wait till the off season and sign him because then you get that 2-year ELC. But again, that's kind of the one thing that they have right for these players is to make them sign in the end of the season so they burn that year and then they kind of go forward with that extra kind of they can get to a bigger payday quicker. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there, but I do expect him to be kind of in the system and be playing hockey for in San Jose, either this year or next year. And I could see him kind of being one of those third line high energy forward types of players. I know the Sharks feel like they have a lot of those, but not all of them pop. So, and if not, I think he's going to be a very, very good AHL player. So, and that's a perfectly fine career, right? You're playing professional hockey. So I excited to see Alex Young contribute, be part of the Sharks organization. It'll be cool to see a Young doing things out there. There's, we've got Steve Young and the Angus Young from ACDC. So more Youngs doing good things is what we need to see in the world. So that's going to be it for me today. Just as a reminder, scheduling, there won't be an episode Friday morning because of Thanksgiving. Going to spend the day with my family, cooking a awesome turkey on my grill and watching a lot of football. So we will have an episode. Friday's episode will be after the game on Friday against the Canadians. So we'll have that for you guys on Friday after the game. So make sure you guys are following along wherever you get podcasts. And of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. You can follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Locked On Sharks. You can follow me on Twitter at MyFryHole. Happy Thanksgiving to all the American fans out there, and to everybody else. Sorry, we'll be back on Friday, like I promised. Until then, bye, friends.